With the new NBA season right around the corner, one of basketball's top free agents remains unsigned. Now, there are all kinds of theories as to why 7'3" Filipino phenom Kai Sotto hasn't been picked up, but the fact is, Sotto, for all his flaws, has the talent to get a longer look than he has in the NBA. This video explains what Kai could bring to an NBA team, the type of contract he could get, and what teams would be the front runners to get him. First though, my name is Troy, and this is the Half Court Report. Please do me a solid and like this video and subscribe to the channel. I talk about everything NBA on here, and I would love to have your support. I've been following the basketball career of Kai Sotto for years. There's no question that Kai has unusual skill for a guy who's 7'3" and 230 pounds. The way that he's able to block shots and see over defenders to find the open man and make the right pass is a thing of beauty. Sotto's ball handling is also superb for a player of his size and adds another dimension to his game. His shooting is also reliable all the way out to the three-point line. I think with the NBA's recent resurgence of tall, slim, defensive-minded big men, Kai Sotto has a real chance to prove he can stick in the NBA. And with the league now allowing teams to sign up to 3 players for two-way contracts, it seems like a no-brainer that a franchise should take a chance on Kai. Those contracts are meant to be used on players with potential that still need some extra seasoning. That sounds like Kai to me. He wrapped up his first ever NBA Summer League a few months ago, and though reviews on how he did were mixed, anyone watching could see the potential. Plus, Kai proved he could hang with real NBA players when his former team, the Adelaide 36ers, defeated the Phoenix Suns in a preseason game less than a year ago. I think any NBA team could use a player with Kai Sotto's unique talents, but I have narrowed it down to 8 teams that I think could give Kai the greatest chance to succeed and take that next step in his basketball career. Let's begin with the Golden State Warriors. Kai's style of play complements the Warriors' playbook so well. He's a versatile big man who can score down low, knock down threes, and drive hard to the bucket, while also being, as I mentioned earlier, a tenacious rim protector and shot blocker. I think Kai is best suited for an offense that operates in the half court, and when in full harmony and synergy, the Warriors' half-court offense can be some of the most beautiful basketball out there. Add to that, the Warriors have a need for big men on their roster, and with an open two-way slot, Kai would be primed to be the developmental center to round out the Warriors' roster. Let's stay on the West Coast for this next team, the Los Angeles Clippers. Kai actually worked out for the team last summer, so he's been on their radar for a while. I think now would be a great time for them to close the deal with him. I remember how raw current Clippers center Ivica Zubac was when he came to the team a few seasons ago. Zubac is very similar in his build and some aspects of his game to Kai. Now he's one of the better centers in the NBA. The tools and training would be there with the Clippers. Kai just needs to work hard and keep pushing. And what about the Miami Heat? Can you imagine Kai in the Heat's developmental system? The Heat roster is filled with undrafted players that Miami has molded to be solid rotation pieces. The Heat currently have their two-way spots filled up, but they could sign him on their G League team or convert one of their current two-way players to a standard contract and open up that two-way spot. It could happen, and it would be beneficial to the team and to Kai. Kai Sotto in South Beach would be wild. Remember that sunscreen, my man. Or maybe trade in 90-degree weather and no state income tax for apartments the size of a closet and rats the size of golden retrievers. I'm just kidding, Knicks fans. You know I love you. Like the Clippers, the Knicks are no stranger to Kai. He was part of their minicamp earlier this summer, and I think playing for the Knicks would give Kai the introduction to the NBA that he needs. The biggest criticism from the Kai Sotto haters, and yeah, there are some haters, is that his body language and lack of aggressiveness on the court is concerning. Fortunately, that's something that can be fixed. And if Tom Thibodeau is your coach, then you have to be tough to get minutes. Give Kai a few months on the Knicks, and he'll be a different player. And you know who's also a fan of Kai Sotto? Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban. Earlier this summer, he worked out at the Mavericks training center to rave reviews. And if Kai's talent isn't enough to get him a spot on the Mavericks, his marketability might be. In 2015, the Mavericks drafted Satnam Singh, the first ever Indian-born player. A big reason Singh was picked is because it made news in India, a country of over 1 billion people. Kai is even more popular in the Philippines. His jersey would be one of the top sellers, and by signing the first full-blooded Filipino into the NBA, the Mavericks would be the de facto NBA team in the Philippines for generations. It all makes too much sense for a businessman like Mark Cuban. And I think the Chicago Bulls are a legit option too. They've been known to have a soft spot for raw big men, Cristiano Felicio and Marko Simonovic, to name a couple. Neither panned out, but the Bulls are not shy about taking flyers on promising young prospects with size. And I think Kai has more skill than either of those players I just mentioned. And Kai would be able to learn under the tutelage of Nikola Vucevic and Andre Drummond, two skilled big men with very different playing styles. I think it's a win-win move. Next, the Oklahoma City Thunder love long players who can play defense, shoot the ball, and make plays for others. And like the Mavericks, signing Sotto would be a huge win for a small market team like the Thunder. Oklahoma City GM Sam Presti always seems to think a couple steps ahead of everybody else, and signing Kai Sotto would just add to his legacy of finding diamonds in the rough. And finally, what about the Detroit Pistons? There are lots of questions regarding the backup big men in Detroit. James Wiseman and Marvin Bagley may be out of the NBA soon if they're not able to put it all together. Sotto could be some fresh blood to bring into the Motor City to serve as a connective piece on a Pistons bench that is otherwise pretty underwhelming. And with new coach Monty Williams, I think Kai would have a leader who knows how to coach big men and would help bring Kai along in a way that would help him succeed. So guys, tell me what you think. What NBA team should sign Kai? Be sure to let me know in the comments and drop your support for Kai as well. I know he would appreciate reading all those comments. Since you've watched this far, be sure to drop a like for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel for some of the freshest NBA content you're going to find on YouTube. And as we're getting closer to the season beginning, I'm looking forward to seeing how Ben Simmons performs. This is a guy who, by all accounts, is ready to prove the haters wrong. He's been working out like crazy and looks like he's ready to take his game to another level. I did a whole video about it, and I actually predict how I think he's going to do in this upcoming season. Make sure you check that out. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you next time on the Half Court Report.